Hi everybody, Mr. Pash here, and today we're going to continue our photo series on different techniques and compositions on how to increase our skills with photography. And today we're going to talk about symmetry. Now symmetry, we're definitely talking about compositions, and it's not really about what we're taking the photo of, but how it's arranged in our frame of the photo. And most of you guys will probably be familiar with symmetry, but for those that don't know, it's really equally balancing your photo equally on both left and right sides, and usually having something dominantly centered, sometimes mirrored on both sides, but not always the case, just as long as the dominant balance is weighted equally for both sides. So this assignment is a little bit more on the simple side, and I think most of you guys will get that. I've provided lots of examples here for you guys to look at, and some of these are student examples. Most I found online, but let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so just a little overview here. Symmetry in photography composition is achieved when two halves of an image hold the same weight. This is not obviously real weight and physical weight, it's visual weight. So you're looking at both sides equally all the time. This is known as formal balance, symmetrical balance. However, the symmetry doesn't have to be literal in the sense of one half of an image exactly mirroring the other, and so we'll see that in some examples here. Okay, most of these are pretty mirrored and equaled, which we will see. I think the only one that doesn't really fit that mirroring that's a hard word to say mirroring theme is this one right here at the top, if you see that. So kind of have this background shot of this tiled mosaic architectural wall here, and the part that kind of you know interrupts that exact mirroring is this person right here walking. Well, we got to look at this and say, is it really balanced? Is my visual weight really pulling to the left all the time? If so, it's probably not balanced. So I think what balances this photo and doesn't always kind of tilt our view always to the left is that this wall has kind of the bigger solid patterns as opposed to this. So we notice that this person has strong navy blue, and we also see that in kind of the strong navy blue shapes here. And I think because this part is actually cropped a little bit, that might help. I don't know, but I think that's majority of the balance. There is this kind of strong navy blue equaling on both sides here. Plus it's always nice, even if it didn't balance quite exactly, it's always nice to kind of interrupt that symmetry if you can. But most of you guys are just going to look for things that you can just kind of mirror right on. So portraits, animals, and people, we are symmetrical. So those are always good subjects to do. Just make sure the background itself is balanced. As we see in this baby here, that's our dominant focus. But we also see the bike handles, and the person riding the bike is also right in the middle. They're not kind of pulled off to the left riding the bike, because that would make us kind of pull to the left. A lot of buildings and architecture are great to look at, because buildings, they're pretty much horizontal, vertical structures. This is a leading line shot, which we'll talk about later on. Underneath the pier, kind of creates a cool design. Here's a building right in the middle. Instead of looking at the building straight on, this is a point of view shot, which we discussed before, looking up at the building. And so it kind of creates these really cool, unique geometric forms. Kind of reminds me of Transformers or something. That just gives us a different aspect of the building and holds symmetry. This example here is taking a shot. I don't know how, but if we can see here, this is the regular view of the camera, but it's being reflected in a window. Okay, so instead of doing it digitally, you can actually use windows or mirrors to kind of create some cool reflections that way. A lot of photographers love using mirrors. Quite simple view of just a lamppost. Sometimes you can use just very simple structures and just kind of hold strong there. It kind of creates like a little shape or pattern. We don't really look at it as a lamppost anymore in this view. And then this is a shot from a movie. Movies tend to use symmetry a lot, especially when we're focusing on the performance of one actor. We really want to see their expressions, and we really want to focus on that one person. It's just a strong view. This is a scene from Wes Anderson's movies. Most of you guys probably will not be familiar with him, but he's kind of like an artsy director, and it's kind of funny because he uses symmetry in most of his shots, which is very unusual for a director because symmetry just kind of sometimes come across as basic or static. We don't really look at the scene so much, and he just really concentrates on his characters, and the backgrounds are really simple and flat, and I don't know, it just kind of gives it a cool vibe if you guys have ever seen his movies. So the purpose for symmetry, just kind of as a photographer, humans are drawn to balance and unity, and symmetry is an easy way of doing that. We are, again, symmetrical beings. There's lots of symmetry in nature as well as man-made objects, so it's just kind of a part of that. And then symmetry is an easy way to create a very strong balance in your photographs. It doesn't make it chaotic, and it really holds that viewer's attention. It's just like straight right in your face. So if you have something really cool to portray, symmetry is a good way to kind of present that to your viewer. Most of these pictures are vertical, but you can find things, it's probably a little bit harder, that reflect horizontally, up and down rather than left and right. And I didn't find a lot, but I found this one off to the left here, this sunset, pretty symmetrical both vertically and horizontally. And usually when you do horizontal symmetry, you're usually looking for some sort of reflection, most likely in water. You'll see pictures like that, but who knows what you'll find. Symmetry is everywhere, so go out and try to find some cool subjects to take photos of and see how you can present it. All right, so that's it for symmetry. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Always feel free to email me, and happy shooting. Take lots of photos, choose your best one, and submit it to Canvas, and I'll give you guys some feedback on it. All right, take care.